Hello and welcome to your at-home prenatal yoga practice video. All you'll need today for the practice is a yoga mat of some sort, and you'll probably want a couple of pillows or rolled up blankets for your relaxation at the end. So we'll start in a tall seat to center, and if it helps to be comfortable in that tall seat, grab one of your pillows or blankets and just slide it underneath your sitting bones. Root down through those sitting bones and lift through the crown of your head. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears and let your hands rest gently on your knees. And close your eyes. Take a moment to turn your awareness inward. Check in with how your body feels today, right now. Acknowledge and honor your body as it is right now. Tune into your breath. Begin to shape your breath. Inhaling a little bit more deeply, expanding through the rib cage as you inhale. And gently drawing back in as you exhale. Inhale to expand. And exhale, release completely. Allow each breath to become a little bit more steady and fluid and even than the one before it. This is our calming breath. So we will keep returning to this breath throughout the practice. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Take a moment with your baby. Feel this connection. When you're ready, gently release your hands, blink your eyes open, and we'll just extend the legs forward and start warming up the body from the toes all the way up. So if it's challenging to sit tall, just walk the hands back for a moment, drawing the shoulders back and keeping the heart lifted for a little bit of support. So we'll start by just pointing and flexing at the ankles. And really exaggerate this movement. Unless you feel any cramping, then definitely back off. Let's circle the ankles in one direction. They'll probably crack a little bit. That's okay. Switch directions. Good. Pull the toes back toward your knees so your knees will bend up a little bit and just kind of shift them side to side, waking up the hips and the legs. Good. We'll come into that tall seat again, tucking the feet in, hands resting on the knees, and just start shifting the ribcage side to side, moving at the hips. And then for front and back, so we'll reach the heart forward, and then around through the spine, tucking the tailbone, a little seated cat-cow. Inhale, heart draws forward, lift the heart up. Exhale, rounding, tucking tailbone. Working through these movements gently as your body prepares and warms up. Coming to a tall seat, bring the shoulders up to your ears and draw them down and back, circling them. Inhale up, exhale down and back. Good, let the shoulders drop down and back. Make soft fists with your hands and circle the wrists in one direction and then the other. Good, and then shake out the hands a little bit, wiggle the fingers. resting them back down. Lift through the crown of your head. Bring your chin to your right shoulder, and then to the left, to the right, and to the left. Back to center, bring your chin to your chest, and then very gently bring your right ear to your right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. One more time to each side, really gently, no forcing. Good, and lift the head back up. Bring the hands by your sides, and we'll move with the breath. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. If it's comfortable, bring the palms together. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Connect the breath to your movement, the movement to your breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release down. This time, inhale to reach up. As you exhale, bring your right hand down to the mat and reach your left hand up and over, just gently stretching through the left side of the body. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale to switch. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to switch. Inhale, reach. And exhale to switch. Inhale to reach up. This time as you exhale, bring your hands down and back. So you plant your fingertips on your mat. Pull your shoulders back and lift up through the center of your chest. Take your gaze up. Drawing shoulder blades together, finding a little bit of space across the collarbones. Good, and then release. Walk your hands forward. Finding a really gentle forward fold here. So you might stay up on the hands here. You might walk the hands a little bit more forward and coming down as low as your hips and your belly allow. Always want to make sure you have room for baby, so don't feel constricted. And then walking back up. We're just going to switch the cross of the feet. So bring the opposite foot in front and find that tall seat again. Moving on the breath as you inhale, reach up. Now this time we'll twist. So as you exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind. Gently look over your back shoulder. And then inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale to twist, other way. So the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Gently gaze over your back shoulder. Inhale to center, reach up. Exhale to switch. Inhale, reach up to center. Exhale, switch. Good. Inhale, back up to center. This time we'll hold for a few breaths. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind, sitting tall as you look over your back shoulder. And breathe. Good. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead, come back to center. Exhale, bring your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind. Sit really tall as you twist and hold for a few breaths. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands behind, fingertips onto the mat behind you. Draw your shoulders back, shoulder blades draw together. Lift up through your chest, gazing up. And then walk your hands forward, finding once again that gentle fold. Hands can come down, walking the hands forward. If it feels good and you have the space here, you can bring your forearms down. Good. And walk your hands back in, sitting tall. Good. So this time we'll come into all fours. So swing the legs around, plant your hands down underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and gently lift up through your belly to flatten that lower back. We just don't want it to drop down. All right, and if you have any issues, if your wrists aren't happy in this position, come up onto your fists so the wrists are straight. So find that strong, long spine, and we'll do our pelvic rocks. So as you inhale, simply tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling, and exhale, draw your tailbone down. It's a really subtle movement just in the pelvis for now. Inhale, tip your tailbone up, and exhale, draw your tailbone down. And once you have that movement, we'll add on. So as you exhale, draw your tailbone down and just add some more engagement through the pelvic floor. Lift the pelvic floor muscles in and up. Inhale, tip your tailbone up, relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, draw your tailbone down, lift pelvic floor in and up. Inhale, tip your tailbone up, relax pelvic floor. Couple more breaths like that. As you draw the pelvic floor in and up, you'll feel that low belly engage as well. Adding on, inhale, tip your tailbone up. Exhale, draw your tailbone down to lift pelvic floor. And now if you want to, round through your spine, tuck your chin into cat pose. Inhale, release flat back, tip your tailbone up, relax pelvic floor. Exhale, draw tailbone down, lift pelvic floor, round through your spine. Inhale, flatten, relax, and tip up. A couple more breaths like that. Now just begin to find freedom in your movement. So you can shift the rib cage side to side. Maybe circle the hips, circle the rib cage. Now this is your opportunity just to give your body exactly the movement that it's craving. So close your eyes, tune in. There's no wrong way to move as long as it feels really good to you. Move gently, move consciously. Keep breathing. Good. A couple more breaths. On your next inhale, when you're ready, we're going to come into a tall kneeling seat. And I'm just going to turn so you can see me. I'm going to draw the tailbone down, press the hips forward a little bit, reach back, clasp your hands behind your back and press your palms together. Thumbs draw into the tailbone here. Draw the tailbone down, squeeze your bent elbows back towards each other and lift up through the center of your chest. You can take your gaze up. So it's a modified camel. A little more focus on opening up the fronts of the shoulders. Finding a little bend through the upper spine, lifting up through the chest. Staying supported in pelvic floor and low belly. Good. And release. We'll bring the hands down, planting hands underneath shoulders. Curl your toes, lift your knees, and we'll come into a downward facing dog. So you might want a generous bend in the knees here. Press your chest back towards your knees. You can pedal the feet, press one heel down and then the other. Good. On your next inhale, walk your feet forward to your hands, maybe your hands back to your feet, coming into a forward fold. So bring your feet as wide as you need to make room for baby. Bend your knees enough to find plenty of ease through the lower spine and let your head release here. If this doesn't feel good to hang forward like this with the head hanging down, bring your hands to your shins or maybe to blocks if you have them at home. And find a little more of a neutral spine here. You'll still get that lengthening through the back of the body. So we'll be coming up slowly. As you inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lengthen through your spine. Bend your knees, find that strength through the pelvic floor, the low belly, the glutes and hamstrings. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly stand up from there. Good. Bring the feet hip width apart, toes forward. We'll come into some squats, building a little bit of heat. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, drop into a squat. See if you can wiggle your toes. Make sure the weight is sitting back in your heels and the hips are moving back rather than the knees coming forward. So check that by wiggling the toes a little bit. Inhale, stand up, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center, squatting down. Good. Every time you stand up, root down through the heels, engage through your glutes and hamstrings, support yourself in your pelvic floor, and move on your breath. Moving to a depth and a pace that feels good to you today. Listen to your body. Good. Just a few more. Good. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We'll walk the feet out just a little bit wider. Toes out about 45 degrees. And we'll come down into our full yogi squat. So drop the tailbone down, bending the knees, coming all the way down. You can bring your hands down for balance, maybe to adjust your feet. If your heels come up a little bit, that's okay. Sometimes adjusting can help get them a little lower though. Hands can stay down for balance or hands to heart center. If your knees are not comfortable here, if this is not good for your knees, come halfway up, rest your shins, or your forearms on your knees, using your arms to press your knees out. So you have a little bit of support here, still opening up through the hips, but not having to bend the knees so deeply. Coming back to that calming breath. Good. Bring your hands down. Reach the hips back. Finding that support through your core, pelvic floor, legs as you slowly come to standing. Turn the toes forward, hip width apart. Hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Just take a moment to feel your body. Notice the sensations. And to come back to that calming breath. We'll bring the feet together. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Grab onto the right wrist with your left hand and arc up and over, stretching through the right side of your body. Draw your legs in as if you're standing on one strong leg. And lift up. Grabbing onto the left wrist with the right hand, lift up and arc over. Good. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, release arms down. We'll bring feet hip width apart. Again, make sure you're near the front of your mat. We'll step the right foot back into a warrior pose. So we want our heels to be hip width apart, back toes angled forward a bit. Square your hips to the front and bend deeply through your front knee so your left knee is over your ankle. Hands to heart center. Actively press back through the back heel as you bend deeply through the front knee. Now, if you're feeling pretty challenged here, feel free to stay here, especially if you're working on balance. To add on a little bit, I'm going to take some cactus arms. So elbows at shoulder height, draw back between the shoulder blades. As you inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, we'll bring the forearms together, the elbows and hands together out front. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, bringing the elbows back. Exhale, elbows and hands come together in front. Few more breaths just like that. Stay strong in your foundation. Good. Straighten through the front leg. Bring your hands to the hips. Again, make sure your hips are squared to the front. We'll hinge forward. Walk your hands down. Now, if you have blocks, you can have them here to rest your hands on, or simply rest your hands on your shin. We're looking for a stretch through the hamstring, up the back of the left leg. So draw the left leg up and back. If you're a little more open here, you can bring your hands down to the floor too on the inside of the foot. Relax your face, relax your eyes, your jaw. Good. From here, bend through the front knee, walk your hands back up, and we'll step forward to mountain pose. Take a moment here, take a breath, and we'll move to the other side. So we'll step the left foot back, planting the heel down. So again, heels are hip width apart. Back toes angled forward a bit. Square your hips to the front and bend through the front knee. So as you bend through the front knee, make sure the back leg stays straight. Press back through the back heel. Again, you can stay here. If you're working on balance, if that feels like a challenge, feel free to remain here. Otherwise, squeeze the elbows back, elbows at shoulder height, those cactus arms. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands together in front. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale, elbows and hands come together in front. As you do this, stay supported in your pelvic floor, your low belly. Good. This time, inhale, straighten the front leg, hands to the hips. Make sure they're squared to the front. Hinge forward, walking the hands down until you feel that gentle stretch through the back of the right leg. Again, hands can stay on the shins, on blocks if you have them, or maybe on the floor on the inside. And you're always looking for a gentle stretch without overstretching. So we don't want to go to the point of pain or shaking. And make sure you can stay with that calming breath. And use that as a guide. Let's find the edge of that comfort zone and breathe there. Good. Walk your hands back up and step forward, mountain pose. Take a breath. All right. We'll step to face the side of the mat. Toes out 45 degrees, heels in line for our goddess pose squats. And so we'll check in here, bend through the front or bend through the knees. Make sure your knees are going towards your toes and ending up over your ankles. If you need to adjust, if your knees are going past your toes, just inch your feet a little wider. If your knees can't go out to where your toes are, just turn the toes in a little bit. We really want to keep everything in line. And go ahead and stand on up. We'll move with the breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, squat down, hands to heart center. Press the knees back, so we're engaging through these hips. Knees are going towards the toes. Inhale, stand up, reach tall. Exhale, squat down. Good. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, squat. Good. Again, going at a pace and a depth that feels good and challenging for you today. Good. One more like that. And this time we'll stay down into that goddess pose. The pose is being held now, but don't hold your breath. Keep the breath moving. A little movement in the pose might feel good, but stay in it. Good, we're gonna stay here, but bring your hands onto your knees and just kind of drop your weight into your knees. So a little less strength here, a little more stretch. Still not easy, just keep breathing. Relax your face. One more breath. Beautiful work. Root down through the feet to stand up. We'll turn both toes to face directly to the side of the mat so they're parallel. Hands to the hips. Bend through the knees and hinge forward into a forward fold. So hands can rest on the mat, on your blocks or blanket maybe, pillow. You can let your head release here if that feels good. Otherwise, if it doesn't feel good to let your head hang, stay more neutral, lengthening through your spine. Good. Inhale, come halfway up, bend through the knees. Bring your hands to your hips, find that support in your pelvic floor, core, hips, glutes, and slowly come to standing. Good. And step to the front of your mat. All right, take a moment here, take a breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Bend your knees. Keep your spine long as you fold forward. And feet as wide as you need to make room for baby. Plant your hands down and walk back to downward facing dog. Reaching hips up and back. Heart back to your knees. Good. Set your knees down onto the mat. We'll shift the legs to one side and come into a seated position. So with the legs extended forward, let's bring the right foot into the left inner thigh. We'll find some length in the spine and fold forward. Right? Fold in a direction that feels good. So you might fold a little more towards the extended leg. Or if you need a little bit more room for baby, just come a little more towards the center. Coming back up. We're gonna take a figure four stretch. So flex the right ankle and cross it over the left thigh, above the knee. So you might wanna bring your hands back here for a little bit of support. This might be plenty, right? Staying right here, maybe just kind of sitting as tall as you can. We're looking for a stretch in that right hip. Right? For a little deeper stretch, slide your left foot in so the knees will bend up towards your chin, and then use your hands to press your chest toward your right shin. And breathe here. Good. Slowly release. We'll uncross, bring the right foot right back into the inner thigh, and we'll twist from here. So bring your left hand to your right knee, right hand behind, sit as tall as you can, lifting through the crown of your head, and then gently twist, look over your back shoulder. Keep both sitting bones rooted down, especially that left hip. It might want to lift up. Keep it rooted down. And unwind, come back to center. Extend the right leg forward and pull the left foot into the inner thigh. And we'll just start with that simple fold first. So find some length in the spine, fold forward in a direction that feels good. All right, coming back in, flexing the left ankle so the ankle joint is strong, and bring it on top of the right thigh above the knee for our figure 4 stretch. Bringing the hands back for support. Again, this may be plenty. You can stay here to deepen it. Just start to slide the right foot in. You can control this stretch kind of every inch of the way here to find a stretch that works for you. Sliding back out. We'll uncross, bringing the left foot back into this back into the inner thigh. Bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind, sit as tall as you can. Gently twist, look over your back shoulder. And unwind. We'll plant both feet down on the mat with the knees bent, feet are hip width apart. Bring your hands onto the mat behind you. Fingers forward towards your hips if that's comfortable. Otherwise, fingers out is good too. Before we lift here, draw the shoulders back, lift up through the center of your chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Right, and so this may be plenty. You can stay here. We're just finding that strengthening in the back of the body, that stretch in the front of the body. Lift your hips up into table pose, lifting the hips as high as feels good today. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, engaging the muscles through the whole back side of the body, keeping your chin tucked if that feels good, or gaze up towards the ceiling. One more inhale, see if you can lift a little bit higher. And exhale to release. Good. We'll bring the soles of the feet together for diamond pose. So in diamond pose, our knees are about a 90-degree angle. So we're making a diamond pose rather than being really close in. Let your hands rest on your ankles. Sit as tall as you can. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, and just take a breath here, letting your shoulders soften. We're just going to start making some gentle circles with the rib cage. So rounding through the spine as you come back, and then reaching the heart forward, moving in one direction here. Moving in ways that feel really good. So these circles might be small and subtle, or big and dramatic. Close your eyes if that helps. Tune in, listen to your body. Switch directions, moving in the other way. Taking a few more breaths just to move in whatever ways you want to move. So you can continue those circles or cat-cows, or moving side to side, maybe moving through your neck and shoulders a little bit more. Moving intuitively, so keeping those eyes closed. There's no wrong way to move as long as it feels good. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes and we'll move into our final relaxation. So grabbing onto your pillows or blankets, we'll lay on a side that feels good today. If you are still comfortable lying on your back, feel free to do that for your final relaxation. If at any time during the relaxation while you're there you feel your back starts to hurt, or you just feel like lightheaded or nauseous or anything like that, just flip onto your side. Otherwise, I'll demonstrate the side lying position. So we'll have one pillow for the head and one between the knees. Just lying down in a way that feels comfortable. If If you'd like to put any socks or a blanket on to stay warm, you can do that. So making yourself feel absolutely comfortable. Close your eyes. Let your body rest. We'll move through a gentle, guided relaxation, progressive muscle relaxation. So simply follow my voice. Allow your attention to follow through your body. Start by bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. And allow the crown of your head to simply melt. Let go of any tension. Bring your awareness to your brow. Let the tension, any expression just melt away. Soften your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Soften your jaw. Relax your jaw a little bit more. Let your tongue be soft. Throat soft and open. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Relax all the way down to your elbows, down to your wrists, and out to the tips of your fingers. Be soft. Soften your rib cage, around your chest, between your shoulder blades. And soften your belly. Allow your breath to move freely, no restriction. Relax your lower back, your hips. Relax your pelvic floor. And relax your glutes. Soften all the way down your thigh bones to your knees. Down through your calves and shins, to your ankles, and all the way to your toes. Be aware of your whole body now, soft, restful. And as your body rests completely, allow your mind to rest too. Allow your mind to rest in your breath. Allow your awareness to rest in some aspect of the breath that holds your attention. Perhaps the movement in and out through your nostrils, or the gentle expanding and releasing of your belly. If at any time you notice your mind begins to wander, just acknowledge it and gently guide it back to your breath. You can stay here for as long as you need to today. When you're ready, moving gently and consciously with ease and gratitude for your body, coming back to a seated position, take a moment with your baby and move on with your day. Namaste.